All right, here we are, Jeff, my co-host, Jeff Sohpiea, episode 1 of the podcast here.
How exciting.
I know, isn't it? This happened pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would say from the beginning, the thought, the fruition of it was probably maybe a month or so ago? Like not too long.
Well, when you brought it up to me, Kev, and you asked, hey, do you want to be the co-host on my podcast? I, of course, said yes right away because that's kind of like our relationship.
Yeah.
We get excited and we just say, yes, let's do it. And then the next night, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, am I going to be able to sit still for a whole hour, let alone like stay focused for a whole hour? So
Right.
You're going to have to call me out if I get distracted.
I'm sure I will. One of the things, it's funny because even these chairs, right? Because our plan, we had it all figured out. Like, well, we can't sit in these chairs. Like Jeff in particular, more than me,
ADD.
but is going to be like rocking. And it's like, we need stationary chairs. And we went shopping for some stationary chairs. But ultimately, we still landed back on these. But we do have to throw a bolt in there.
That's one thing
we've got
forgot.
a plan.
Yeah.
But we do have a plan to get that fixed. But episode 1, I think we're good.
Yeah.
It is nice to have. I wish we could get along with it. Maybe we watch the video and we're good.
Until someone comments like, hey, the chairs drive me nuts, guys.
Right. Just keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
So, but hey, let's talk about why. Before you do anything, it's, you really want to think about like, why are we doing it? What's the goal? What's the purpose? And for us here, and again, it's probably time, we should probably introduce ourselves, right? So I'll give a quick introduction. My name's Kevin Mlynarek, and I'm the CEO of Ideal Traits. That's an insurance hiring platform. I was an Allstate agent for 15 and a half years, and that just ended it was July 1 of 2022. So just ticked over 1 year of not doing both roles. And, at Allstate was an incredible career. Loved every minute of it. I had 5 offices. We opened scratch, grew it to about 20 million, and really had just an awesome time. But, it was time to move on, and it was best for everyone. But Jeff, why don't you tell them a little about yourself?
So my name's Jeff Sohpiea. I've actually been working here at Ideal Traits for, it's my 8th year now, going on my 9th. One of Kevin and his brother and the other owner, Todd Dawson, actually recently made me a partner of the company, which I'm super excited about. And obviously that just puts more responsibility on my plate, which I love sometimes. But Kev, even before Ideal Traits, I was working for you at Allstate.
Yeah.
And that was when I was interning in college. Before that, I was like teaching tennis, working at the Big Boy. So Kevin's been, it's interesting because Kevin's been my mentor, good friend, and cousin, family member, because he is married to my first cousin. Shout out Jen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been awesome experience here. Obviously love the product and love the people here, and we practice what we preach. We hire the right people. And I think the biggest thing about the podcast that I wanted to make sure we do, because in the industry, I think sometimes we get bored talking insurance. So I'm hoping some of these episodes we talk a little bit outside of insurance. And I think that's how our name got created, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just insurance. Is that what we went with?
Well, you're jumping ahead now. We're not there
when
yet.
I do that.
That's probably going to happen often. But yeah, I mean, you spilled the beans, so
We can always edit, right?
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I think that's part of it too, is the uncut, which was actually one of the thoughts, is insurance uncut. But maybe it just felt like it could give insurance potentially a bad name. Uncut's like behind the scenes and the dirty part of things. And we definitely did not want to do that. We wanted to highlight all the good. But as you mentioned, the name it's not just insurance. And we had Insurance Edge was there for a while. I mean, so many names, texting back and forth for weeks. And we landed on it's not just insurance specifically because we wanted to talk more than just insurance.
Yeah.
And we will talk insurance. So don't get me wrong. I mean, we'll talk about closing and writing policies,
Things
and
going on in the
running your
industry.
business, and which really goes to, we can hit right into the content. So what we plan to cover is really finding the industry leaders, like the best of the best of the best. And we have a star lineup. I'm not giving any names away. I was about to, but I'm not going
That
to give
was
any
the
names
easiest
away.
part. Then we're like, wait, what's our content?
Right? Yeah. But, really the content is about highlighting and bringing you guys, our subscribers, our Ideal Traits users, and anyone else. And, even just the Ideal Traits users, we've got a list of 15,000
Yeah.
agents that will be able to get the message out. And, and it really, so let's talk about what it's not. This is not Ideal Traits commercial. This is not how to hire every episode.
We just like these
That
mugs.
would be boring, right? Yeah, this is, we'd have to have a little advertising.
Yeah.
But that would be boring and get old. I'm sure there'll be bits and pieces, and we'll talk about that because we're passionate, but yet not the main driver. It's not the focus. It's to provide value, really. And I think when you give back, I certainly believe in the rule of reciprocity.
Okay. Big word. Here we go.
The rule of reciprocity. When you give out, then, in return, you'll receive. So however that comes back.
And I think it'll be awesome too. Every leader in their certain carrier shield, however you want to call it, Allstate, Farmers, Safeco, certain independent carriers.
Yeah.
It seems like all those agents at least always ask me questions of, well, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are, what's
Right.
going on at Farmers? And because they want to know, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to just, even if they're the best in their area
Right.
for their carrier, well, shoot,
Yeah.
how do I get to the next level? Like, what are they using to become better? So it really is like a collaboration on this podcast. And I think that's why we're getting so many guest speakers that are not in the same niche.
Right. I think our first three are from completely different shields.
Yeah.
To, top of their class in, like literally the top in their, in the shield. And then the one we just hung up with.
Yeah.
And he is crushing it in the independent space. So the podcasts that I've heard of, great, nothing bad to say, awesome podcast. And a lot of them are kind of niche to, they're either independent or they're unique to their brand. And I think that's where we'll be able to add a little bit of flavor, is by providing everybody all the information. And heck, it might not be, one episode might not be for you, but our goal is to give that variety. And I think that's what helps us grow, and having that diversity by not just listening to and hearing the same thing from the same people. I know that helped me when I was an agent.
Right.
It's getting the diversity. Diversity is huge.
And these guest speakers too. It's not like all of them, probably, most of them weren't number one the whole time, right? So we're going to learn how they were from started with nothing,
right,
to got huge. Like, that's what I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
And I know some of these agents you became friends with. So for me, I'm going to be like a viewer, right? Or I'm just going to be like blinded. I'm going to have really, hopefully thought out questions, because I get curious on how people, take a huge financial risk and just, risk everything on a book of business and be successful and, hire good employees. It's cool seeing it, like, just like with Ideal Traits. I feel like we got a good culture here, and it's fun to see. So I'm excited for the guest speakers coming on.
Yeah. Just the fact of knowing that we'll be able to go deep into all different arenas, because really here at Ideal Traits, we talk a lot. We talk to agents every single day, but we're not talking in all facets of their business. And what it's going to do is just make us better and just more well-rounded, and to be able to better serve our clients anyways as a great byproduct. But the cool thing is, hopefully, and I'm sure we'll have the super viewers, but like selfishly, like, we're going to get better.
Oh yeah.
Because we're intimate with every single episode, and we're just absorbing in a part of it. And that's so cool. And so
Like I already
love
noticed,
that.
I've just been like looking there, and I'm like, why am I looking at the light? I should be looking at Kevin or the camera. So yeah, I'm definitely learning already.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of like the room here, we're actually not even done. You know, we got to get some stuff on the shelf there. This shelf's pretty empty.
They wouldn't want to see
now.
what's all of our scraps over here. We've already heard it from the company. It's just we had, just some nice like a bullpen set up.
Yeah.
And then me and Kevin got in here to put together this room for obviously our podcast. And yeah, it got a little messy. So we got a lot of organization to do. We promised we'd get a lot of viewers. So click to subscribe.
That's right. And it did get messy. I mean,
Oh yeah.
pulling down paneling and throwing up drywall in, well, painting, that was an interesting one. We
You promised you wouldn't bring this up.
I think I have to though. Like we got to throw in the video, the time lapse video.
I showed my brother and it was game over. He literally shared it with all my friends, family. I mean, it went viral through, my channels.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Jeff started down here. We got to tell a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jeff, you start down here. I'll start up there, and we'll kind of, I'll get the top, you get the bottom, and so I started painting. I got all the way there. Jeff, I think, was about right here, and then I started noticing, his what areas that you missed.
Yeah, I mean, you dominated the top. You were focused the whole time. I'm going back and forth on paint. And listen, I'm not saying I'm a great painter, but I've been painting my place. I had a passion for painting. I've been doing it a lot, but now I'm realizing like I should have called you the whole time, and you would have painted, within, half the amount of time that it took me. But I'm painting, and I think I'm doing a decent job. I know I'm taking a little longer than normal, but shoot, all of a sudden, as I'm painting, I'm probably to right here.
Yeah.
Kevin is like on the floor behind me, right over here, like just touching up on all the spots that I missed. So at that point, I'm like, ooh, like, let me regroup. Out my.
At that point, you got out your lunch, is what you did.
I think I got it out twice on that video.
It's funny. It's like 27 seconds. So
Like you can't make it up either.
no.
It's bad. It does not look good on my end.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. And this first episode, we just connected the chords. 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Shout out Austin, who's doing
Right.
Our DJ work.
Yeah. Well,
Or whatever you call it.
Tito.
It's the nickname's Tito.
Well, I know
His name's
but-
Austin.
Okay. But I thought we call him Tito.
Yeah, that's okay. Shout out Tito.
Right. But we don't have Tito's. One of the things, speaking of drinking, like what are we going to have? Coffee or water? You won't know.
It's 7:00 p.m. Eastern time.
It might be.
Yeah, as we're recording.
But then
this.
again, we've had a long day. So does that mean you need coffee or not?
Oof.
And we both need more water.
Be up all night.
I was listening to a podcast this morning. As a matter of fact, me and Jeff really kind of made a commitment to start listening to some of the best podcasters because we want to perfect this craft and provide great content and value for you. And I was listening to Ed Milet interview Troy Aikman, and they were talking about water. It's just one thing. Awesome podcast. Make sure you watch it. But he was drinking up to 3 gallons of water a day. 3 gallons.
Now, is he the guy that has, like, what I was doing, like the huge
Jug.
gallons? I'm trying to get into that. So then you can actually hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. But he did say, to be fair, that he did read, and he didn't say where he landed, but at some point you get to a point of saturation and there's no more benefits to it. But I'm sure 1 gallon would be
Also,
a
it's like,
great idea.
how many times you go to the bathroom?
A lot.
Yeah.
A
or
lot.
he trains his bladder. Like, that is impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of water, and I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the number one thing. Like, if you're low on energy, maybe get some coffee. Me and you do that, but
A little bit in the morning. That's about
let's
it.
jug some water.
Yeah.
You're gonna be better off.
Right. Maybe I just gave it away because I said in the morning, and we did say it's 7 p.m. So
Yeah, I just wanted to spoil it.
make your own assessment there. So, and maybe just the last thing that we talked about, we just want to kind of make this brief, an introduction, give you an idea of why we did it, the name of the podcast, the type of content that we're going to be having. And the thought is really And it came from really this morning's meeting and talking about people that are in your life that are either engines, they're providing propulsion, they're moving you forward. And then unfortunately, I mean, we probably all have people we can think of as anchors. And what we want this to be is engines for you and to give you more information, more value, and really challenge you to apply it. Because, that's, if you hear great information, that's one thing. And the next thing, like whenever talking to a mentor, it's like you have to show up, number one, right? Number one, show up. Number two, ask great questions. And number three is apply it. And then the last thing, number four, is really you should kind of go back to that mentor and let them know, like, what I got from this. This is how I applied it, and this is how it worked. That's gonna
Like accountability and
that's gonna make them feel unbelievable.
implement it. Yeah.
Right. Like just watch their face when you go back, and if you can think of one now, call up your mentor and let them know. I want to let you know I've been using this. You told me about it, and it's working. And watch them light up. That's a gift that you can give to your mentor for sure.
Because you're on the other side of that now, and that's one of the best feelings for you.
Yeah. It's so awesome. It's the best feeling for sure.
And sometimes, because I remember when I told you early on, I'm like, Kevin, like, it's amazing how you just go up there, you give a presentation in front of 500 people, and, you go up there and kill it. And then when you get off the stage, we talk, and you're like, I didn't feel like I killed all the parts of it. And it's just interesting too. Like, now that I'm finally getting out of my comfort zone more and speaking, and then I watch a video of myself and I'll be like, wow, Jeff, you sound really good. Like, this is good material. 2 minutes later, what the heck are you saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think we are hard.
Yeah.
We're hard on ourselves.
We're
right?
our own worst critic, as they say.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you should never feel, the mentor should definitely be someone where you take bad calls to them.
Yeah.
You take some of the things that you did wrong and embarrassing.
Right.
And he or she's the person who's like, no problem. I've experienced that myself.
Right.
Yeah. So,
which is really, and maybe one day we'll get into that episode of our training here and how we do that. I mean, people bring their phone calls. We listen live and critique them. That's a tough thing to do.
it's one of the hardest things to do,
It
especially if it's just a horrible call.
Right. But it's the way you learn. And I've talked about it before. It's like, why would you bring a call that was awesome? Like you legit, you can't learn from it. There's nothing to learn. And people are like, great job, Jeff. Yeah, nice call. Like, it was awesome. You closed it. Good job.
Right.
And what have you learned from it? Like, I can't tell you anything because you did it all right. Right. So they don't all go that way. We're not all perfect, but we're going down a rabbit hole. I feel like we might go down a lot of rabbit holes.
Well, especially with me too. Like, like your second point or something like that. I'm like, let's go back to this. And you're like, no, Jeff, we're on this topic now. But no, I'm excited. And I, like I said from the beginning, I'm hoping the episodes aren't an hour and a half. I don't think they will be. I think what we're going to do, because, Kevin and I, we do like to listen to audibles. We like to listen to podcasts as much as we can. But we get distracted, right? We want the good material. We want to laugh.
Yeah.
And we want to apply the same stuff here inside this industry. So I'm looking forward to seeing the comments. Even if there's criticism, tell us what we need to do better.
Same thing. We just talked about that, right?
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
Maybe DM us, though.
Oh.
And not blast it on the...
Oh, okay.
Like, if it's really bad. Like,
right.
Right? Like, hey,
that's a good idea.
Like, this guy's shirt's on the left. Like, don't wear white.
Right. Well, and I think we got to give a big thanks to Austin/Tito.
Mm-hmm.
Tito, what do you want us to call you? This is a pivotal moment here. Tito. All right. Cool. I'm good
Tito
with that.
it is.
But Tito was instrumental. Couldn't have done it without him. I mean, he gave us a laundry list.
And then the
grocery
terminology. We're like, yeah, we know what you're talking about. It's like the C chord to the, this, that. But yeah, he came in here and just crushed it.
Strong.
And it's so cool seeing an actual podcast room and how much goes into it.
Yeah. And it's nice that it's right at our office so that it's just easy. We just walk upstairs and all of a sudden we're filming.
For 3 months of the year, I would not want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
We're here in Michigan, and it does get really cold up here, but not as cold all the time as most people think.
Right.
Anytime you talk to someone out of state, I feel like who hasn't been here, they're like, oh, I would never go there.
Yeah.
Come visit in the summer. In fact, we would love to host you. We'll take you out on the boat. We'll take you to the restaurant next door.
Yeah.
And then we'll come to you if you're in Arizona in the winter.
It's interesting. Today, I had on the boat, Gabe had, my son had his friends and cousin, but two people, one from California and one from, I think it was Montana. I'm not sure.
Well,
but anyways,
no one else would know, so let's just be confident in Montana.
It was Montana.
Yeah.
But they were shocked and amazed and loved it here.
Out here.
So beautiful.
Well, even the company, we had a company lake day
Yeah.
on Friday. And it's just so cool to see everybody. We had someone from California. We had someone from Nevada. We had someone from Oklahoma. We had someone from up north, the UP, Florida. And I mean, people are jumping off the boat like they've never jumped in the lake before. It was just so cool to see.
Yeah. Wake
so
surfing.
much fun.
They'd never done it before, maybe seen it, but never done that.
How did that go?
Well, Monica did really well, and she was determined. So
When is she not?
I know she's a beast, right?
She is.
I mean,
awesome.
last year she tried, and her goal was to get up. She's like, and she told me leading up to it multiple times, like, I'm getting up. I'm getting up, right? And she did, and it was so fun. She was rowdy,
And she just she did not want to fall.
No, it was great.
Good.
Well, I feel like we're rambling a bit. I think we covered all the topics. The why, the name of the podcast is it's not just insurance, and it won't be. And even to go a little bit deeper is it could be something financial about your business. It could be financial ideas. It could be something with we could have a tax advisor on.
Yeah.
And there's things, that's what I'm thinking of business-wise, besides just the normal insurance, which we will have. Trust me, we will have that too.
100%.
So we talked about the content, the name, and that the main content will be driven by awesome guests that we're going to have. And we need your help too. So if you know somebody that you would like us to interview and talk to, please let us know. We would love to reach out to them.
Or a topic you want us to talk about. If you don't want to hop on, I mean, seriously, I think we're all ears.
Yeah.
Like we'll entertain any idea.
Absolutely.
This is fun to us, and we want to learn more and, meet more people.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a sign off yet. Like, we don't know.
Well, Tito's got some beats up there.
Yeah.
He's working on. And then what are we going to do to end the video? We do the 3 claps so they know.
We got to learn that.
Yeah. And be in sync with it.
But we got to get a good intro and a good outro, going. But for this one, I just want to thank you for tuning in, allowing us to provide content for you, because it's such a cliche thing to say, like it's about you, but it really is. Like, we just want to provide more value, and it's not going to be commercials.
Nope. And we're going to always try to have something big at the end.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like something just boom.
Right.
Or we'll have the guest speaker bring something.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks, guys, for hopping on.
Thanks
or
a lot.
listening or watching, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. We appreciate that.